Good day everyone. Today we will discuss about quality improvement tools and techniques in problem identification. Here are our learning outcomes. By the end of this lesson, learners will be able to identify and describe common quality improvement tools used for problem identification and analyze how each tool contributes to effective problem solving, and also evaluate their advantages and limitations in various workplace or educational contexts. What are the most common tools for identifying problem? Root cause analysis is an important process in quality management. Its purpose is to identify the root or true cause of a problem, not just its symptoms or effect. When done correctly, the root of the problem is addressed and the recurrence of the same issue in the future is avoided. So in root cause analysis, not only the symptoms and effects ang gina-solve nila, kundi pati na din ang root cause or the main reason why that problem occur or exist. Here are the 5 common root cause analysis tools for more effective problem solving. We have Pareto chart, 5 whys, fishbone diagram, scatter diagram, and failure mode and effect analysis or FMEA. Pareto chart. The Pareto chart is a powerful quality control tool that originated from the observation of Vilfredo Pareto, a 19th century economist. He noticed that 80% of the wealth in Italy was held by 20% of the population, which became the basis of the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule. This 80-20 ratio is not a guideline. It's just a guideline, not a fixed rule. Sorry. No? So, guideline lang na siya, not a fixed rule. Pwede na siya ma-change. Sometimes, pwede na siya ma-70-30 or 90-10 ang ratio. No? It was not always an exact number, pero gipakita sa Pareto principle that there are usually key causes that have much greater effect than the other. The Pareto chart is a graphical way of showing problems or causes, prioritizing biggest issues. Using Pareto's 80-20 rule, this shows that typically 80% of the effect comes from 20% of the main causes. Now, for example, 20% of the workplace hazard caused the 80% of accident. So, pwede siya inana. This is used to determine which problem should be prioritized for more effective quality improvement. So, I have here an example, no? Causes for customers' complaints. So, naatay upat ka causes, which is missing parts, wrong color, does not work, and all other. Ang Pareto chart is combination siya sa bar chart and a line graph. And ang bar graph is naka-arrange in descending order. And ang line graph also shows the cumulative percentage of the problem in descending order also, no? So, descending yapon siya. Pero, as you can see, na dito sa itong bar graph, ang first bar nato is nasa 40%, which is naapod sa 40% ang first na dot nato sa line graph. In the second bar, which is ang wrong color, is naa siya sa 30%. Pero ang ato ang second dot is naa siya sa 70%. It is because i-add up ang 40% sa first bar ari sa 30% ari sa second bar, which is nahimo siyang 70%. That's why ang ato ang second dot sa line graph is naa siya sa 70%. Kay cumulative man siya. Kumbaga, kabuuan man siya. No? Yeah, as you can see, sa ato ang third bar, naa siya sa 20%. And then, ato lagi hapon siya gi-add up, no? Sa katong na total nato nga 70%, which is nahimo na siyang 90%. And also, maog hapon natong gibuhat sa last bar nato ang all other. Gi-add gihapon nato ang 10% which is ni come up siya og 100% na tanan. No? As you can see, sa ato ang example, nakita nato nakita nato sa ato Pareto chart nga ang missing part ug ang wrong color is ni come up siya og 70%, which is kung imo siyang if mogamit ka sa Pareto principle, which is pwede siya diba pwede to ma-change og 70-30, no? So as you can see, naa na siya sa 70%. So it means na the missing part of wrong color are the problems that must be prioritized or should be prioritized, no, for more effective quality improvement, para ma-improve ang ato ang quality. So muna siya ang duha ka problem or customers complaint ang dapat nato i-priority. So yun na siya i-detect sa Pareto chart. Here are the advantages in Pareto chart. First is highlights the most significant problem using the 80-20 rule. Next is easy to interpret and prioritize issues. Second, helps focus efforts on high impact areas. Here are also the limitations of our Pareto chart. It doesn't show root causes, only frequency or magnitude. It also requires accurate data collection and may oversimplify complex problem. Next is the 5 whys. 5 whys is a straightforward approach to problem solving that involves asking why over and over until the issue's underlying cause is found. It is frequently used in organizations to identify the underlying cause of an issue as well as treat its symptoms. I have here, no, para ma-interpret na tarong ang 5 whys, no, I have here an example. Student forgot to bring lunch, no? So first why, okay, syempre 5 whys man, no? So kalimag ito mag-ask of why. So first why, ang question is, why did the student forget to bring lunch? Yeah. As you can see, ang answer is because they left it on the kitchen table. Second why did they leave it on the kitchen table? Because they were in a hurry to catch the school bus. So ang atong third why were they in a hurry? Because they woke up late. Atong fourth why did they wake up late? Because their alarm didn't go off. And lastly, why didn't their alarm go off? No, so nakuha na to ang root cause niya, which is because they forgot to charge their phone overnight. So kay wala man sila maka-charge sa ilang phone, wala ni alarm. So moto ninungdan nga wala sila nakadala sa ilahang lunch, sa ilang kadali-dali. So ana lang siya. Ana siya ka-simple ang 5 whys. Here are the advantages in 5 whys. Sorry. First, simple and quick to apply. Second, encourages deep thinking and root cause analysis. And lastly, no need for complex tools or data. And here are the limitations of 5 whys. First, this can be subjective, depends on facilitator's skill, may lead to oversimplified incorrect conclusions, and lastly, doesn't work well for complex multi-factor problems. Next is our fishbone diagram. At last na isip balhin no kay atang akong nawong. Sorry. Okay. The fishbone diagram, also known as the Ishikawa diagram or cause and effect diagram, is a visual method of analyzing a problem by organizing its potential causes into categories. No, so ang potential causes niya is gina-categorize, which is naatay ka category, which is ang people, methods, machine, materials, measurement, and environment. Ano sila ang ka categories. By breaking down each category, it's easier to see patterns, identify the root of the problem, and provide clear direction on where to focus the solution. So, as kanang sa name pa lang niya no, na fishbone diagram no, baka nadadayon tayo idea unsay porma niya no. It mimics the fish skeleton, no? So, as you can see sa akong example diri na ako example, ang underlying problem niya is na ka-place siya sa fish head, bali sa ulo sa isda, no? Then ang katong mga categories and ang mga causes is nakabutang po siya sa kanang left sa likod niya no, which is ang bali ang bones na sa fish, no? So I have here a problem no for more para mas masabtan no. So ang problem ani is the part is produced wrong size. So ang na-produce nila nga part is wrong ang size. So natay katong unom ka categories, which is material, measurement, machine, method, environment, and people no for. So mohatag lang ta og pipila ka kuan ka example. So sa machine, data sa machine no. So ang cause niya is possible cause niya is machine malfunction. Sorry. Maybe that machine malfunction is employee's fault or kaya machine defect. Mo gina siya. So bali mo na siya ihang mga sub-causes no. Pwede na siya nga reason nganong nagka machine malfunction. No, so for example, another example is people. No, so employees mistakes. So maybe ang sub-cause niya is maybe nasayop ang mistaken machine setting. So maybe ang employee is nasayop pag-set sa machine, no? And maybe mistake in production procedure. So maybe sa kanang procedure mismo sa production pa lang is nanay sayop, no? So nanara siya imo lang siyang kanang every category na imo lang siya kanang mga possible causes gid niya. So inana iyang pag kanang determine sa possible causes na nganong ni-exist ang kana nga problem. And here are the advantages of the fishbone diagram. Sorry. First is visualizes multiple potential causes of a problem. Second, encourages team brainstorming and collaboration. Second, organizes causes into categories. Muna siya ang mga advantages. Katong categories ng gingon is mo to katong people, machine, method, environment, materials, and etc. Unsa pa to? No, mo to siya. And here are the limitations of fishbone diagram. No, it doesn't quantify the impact of each cause, and can become cluttered with too many inputs. And also, it needs follow-up analysis to validate causes. Next is our scatter diagram. I-move na po ni nato akong nang kay sagabal kayo ni akong nang buyag. Okay. A scatter plot diagram is a graphical way of analyzing the relationship between two variables. This shows if there is a connection between a potential cause and the effect, plotting points on the x-axis and y-axis. When there is a clear pattern or line in the data, the two variables may be related, so they can be used in analyses such as correlation or regression analysis. I have here an example sa scatter diagram, no? According sa atong data is natay student are studied, no, kung pila ka oras ga study ang isa ka estudyante o pila iyang score sa test. And according sa ato ang kuan, makita nato no na sa atong giplot na scatter diagram, nakita nato nga naa siya positive correlation between our studied and test score, no? So makita nato na the more nga ang student mag-invest og time sa iyang study, ang iyang performance ga-improve pod siya. But if ang estudyante is dili siya mag-invest og more time sa iyang study, syempre ang katong estudyante is makuha gid siya og mga lower nga test scores. So makita gid nato ang cause and effect nga relationship niya. And here is the advantages of scatter diagram. It shows relationship or correlation between two variables. It is useful for identifying trends or pattern, and it helps in validating cause-effect assumptions. And here are also the limitations. It doesn't prove causation, only correlation. It requires numerical data, and its interpretation may be unclear without a statistical support. Nayungit. Next is failure mode and effect analysis, or FMEA. Failure mode and effect analysis is a systematic method of analysis used to identify potential failures in process, product, or design. This is a step-by-step process that examines each stage of the work. It also considers the impact of these failures on the overall goal of the process, helping planners and managers identify and prioritize what needs to be fixed. So, mura siya, para sa ako, same siya sa Pareto chart. Lahi lang siya klase sa table, no? Pero, ang naka-similar nila is makita nimo through sa ilang sa RPN, sa kini nga tool, makita nimo nga if unsa to nga possible cause nga ni kuha og dako nga RPN is mao siya ang dapat i-prioritize nga problem, no, nga ma-fix dapat. So same siya sa Pareto chart na if unsa to ang pinakadako og percentage, no, or sa to ang niabot og kanang kuan 70% pataas is mao to siya ang dapat i-priority nga problem. So mao gyapon ni siya ang pinakadako gyapon ang gibasihan. Here are the FMEA chart outline. First is potential failures and their impact on operations or safety. Second, causes of failure and current controls to avoid it. Third is the severity, occurrence, detection. The 3 ratings used to calculate the risk priority number. Sorry na, medyo nabulol, no? Kini ang severity o occurrence is generate ni siya, no? Ang pag-style po sa pag-rate ani niya is from lowest, which is ang 1, to highest, which is ang 10. However, ang detection is kabaliktaran sa severity o sa occurrence. Ang sa detection po, if imo siya i-rate from 10 siya, ang 10 niya is ang lowest na siya. Ang highest niya is ang 1. So, baliktad, no? And RPN is the basis for determining which problem should be prioritized for resolution. Na ako yung example din, no? Muna siya ang table. So, lahi ra siya table sa Pareto chart, pero determine lang siya sa kung asa ang high risk, no, sa nga kanang kuan high risk nga problem. So we have here a table, so sa natay process step, failure mode, failure effect, severity, failure causes, occurrence probability, process controls, detection, and risk priority number or RPN. So sa atong process step naatay test of a finished car. So gitest ang finished car. Then ang possible failure mode niya is the brakes don't work, and the possible failure effect niya is accident yun. No, kay syempre wala nagwi-brake niya imo i-testing na diha sa kalsada, di ba? Na. Then since kay accident siya, ang severity niya is grade siya og 10. Which is 10 gud siya kay delikado, no? Failure causes niya, no, possible failure causes niya, their brake system is not working and the wheels slip, no? Ang occurrence probability niya is create siya as 7 ang the brake system is not working and 2 for the wheels slip. Process control is, no, pwede siya noise when braking, no? And ang isa is TWI, which is tread wear indicator. So muna siya ang mga possible nga process control nga pwede nila buhaton. Ang detection niya, as you can see, 2 ang rate niya, which is high. Kaya diba ang sa detection is pabaliktad ang rate niya, no? So 2 is high na siya. Ang 3 is high po na siya. And sa to ang risk priority number, which is ang RPN, no? Ang pag-calculate sa RPN is very simple lang. Severity times occurrence probability and times detection. So i-multiply lang nimo ang severity, occurrence probability and detection. So mo na siya come up siya og 140, no? Kay 10 times 7 times 2. And also sa dili pud sa ubos kining isa kay the wheel slip, i-multiply gyapon ni siya 10 times 2 times 3, which is ni come up siya og 60, no? So as you can see sa atong table, ang pinakadako nga RPN is ang 140, which is ang kini siyang the brakes don't work. So nakita na to nga since mo may pinakadako ang 140 is mo na siya dapat ang bali i-prioritize i-priority na problem nga ma-fix. Ana siya ka simple, no? Ang pinakadako lang nga RPN ang imong dapat i-priority. Muna siya ang pinaka need na ma-fix. So sayon na siya. Sige. Here are the advantages of FMEA. First is systematic and thorough risk analysis tool. Sorry, himbolol. Second is prioritizes failures based on severity, occurrence, and detection, and it helps prevent problems before they occur. And napot siya mga limitations. Time consuming and requires detailed input. Time consuming yun noon siya kay syempre kuan man ka sa mga retrate pa ka, no, diba? So time consuming talaga. Next is needs cross-functional expertise and can be complex for small teams or simple processes. In conclusion, using the Pareto chart, 5 whys, fishbone diagram, scatter diagram, and failure mode and effect analysis or FMEA provides a systematic way to identify, analyze, and solve the root causes of problem in any process or system. These tools are important in improving quality, safety, and efficiency at work. By using this correctly, the problem-solving process becomes clearer, more effective, and more solution-oriented. That's all. Thank you. Ay, thank you pa day. Thank you.